friends. Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Hi, Tina. Good evening. Good evening to Norway from Florida. It's a very different weather here than it is there. I'm sure a little bit jealous of the beautiful weather right now happening in Norway. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for being here. We're enjoying some lovely evening sunshine here. It's a balmy 98 degrees. And life is good. Hello, everyone else. Welcome. If you can, give me a quick hello in the chat. I'd love to see your name and where you're from. Thank you so much for joining us this evening as we let more people continue to pop on in. Yeah, hi Diane from Northern California, a beautiful state, a beautiful part of California as well. Such a wonderful area. Hi Mo from Atlanta. Oh, one of our favorite cities. Such a fun city, Atlanta. Hi Susan, rainy upstate New York. There's nothing like a good afternoon rain in upstate New York. My husband and I have been to the Catskills several times, and just that whole area up there is so beautiful. Wow, you all come from really amazing places. Well, I'm glad you're joining me today. It's today's I'm honored and I'm thrilled. It's our first live event here on Insight Timer. So thank you for being with me. That's so kind of you. And I'm excited to be here today with and for you. If you haven't really seen much of crystal healing bowls, let me tell you a little bit about them just real quick before we dive in and kind of what to expect from today. So these are crystal singing bowls, as you ascertained. So I have 13. They're chromatically tuned, which it's like walking up all the white and the black keys on the piano, starting from the lowest octave to the highest octave, the highest part of the octave, and then restarting. So these bowls are tuned to a specific frequency. They're actually tuned to 432. And just generally what that means is that most music that we're accustomed to today is tuned to 440. So 432 drops this central portion of the pitch down just a little bit. It's less that it is always noticeable by the ears for most people, though many of us, and many of you I'm sure, can hear the difference. But it's also about a feeling. When the pitches drop just a little bit, it helps us relax into a deeper, more concentrated space. There's actually been scientific studies. There's a Eastern European orchestra who they were showing the effects of tuning at a normal 440 pitch versus 432 and the effects that the audiences were experiencing. In classical music, we do it all the time. We actually tune up. Pop's orchestras and concerts, we actually, instead of tuning at 440, we tune at 444. So this is something that's around us all the time, whether we know it or not. The nice thing about 432 is it gives us a centralized point to come together, recenter, retune, rebalance, and re-enliven our innate systems of healing and of presence. So today, what you can expect, I'm going to kind of divide the section into three main parts. The first being retune. This will allow us time to drop everything away, just kind of tune in, relax into the sounds. The second part will be to release. We'll start bringing in some opportunities to really kind of dig in and let go of some muck and things that aren't really serving us right now. If you want, you choose how you receive today's session. And then the third will be to receive. And we get to dive in. But you know what? This is your time. This is for you. All of this music is completely improvised. It's based on Tina, Diane, Mo, Susan, everybody who's here to... Oh, Diane, thank you so much for your generous donation. I very much appreciate that. So all the donations were actually going towards scientific research that we're working with a scientist out of the UK and helping establish some really interesting research in sound healing. So, and I can tell you guys more about that later, but so thank you, I appreciate that. Yeah. So we'll have these main sections that'll be going on. This time is yours. Use it as you may. You can listen it any way you want. Some of you may be just having this on in the background and you kind of continue and throughout your day. You may take this time to really come in, center, focus, and be fully present this entire time. Whatever works is what I want you to do. Please feel free to use earphones if you'd like. Sometimes this binaural beating that the bowls will sometimes put off is actually very effective in earphones or earbuds. If you have that, great. If you don't, great, no sweat. You'll know for next time if that's something maybe you want to try. I think that's probably about it. So the first thing I'm going to do actually is kind of check in with the bowls. Side note, it's kind of cool. These bowls I'm finding will speak very differently on different days. Some days this E will ring bright and beautifully. And other days it's a little more constricted and you can actually feel it. I can feel it under my hand and under the mallet. I can feel it how it's reverberating out into space. Today doesn't really sound like an E. So let me just sort of check in and see where we are, because even within the day, that tuning can change. Interesting. Let's see where this takes us. So thank you for being here. Just relax. Take a deep breath. Inhale and exhale. This time on your inhale, bring in something that you're looking to receive right now. On the exhale, gently let that expectation go. Do that again. Inhale. Something that you're wanting to receive, and exhale, just let it go back out. Now on this inhale, notice where in your body you may be experiencing any resistance, any places that the air, that the vibrations just kind of skip or get stuck or maybe stick to. Notice it and let the air back out. Just repeat this pattern of in and out, bringing your attention to all those really beautiful little places that right now are asking for your attention. Just gently give it to them. a gentle awareness to something that needs your attention. Perhaps for a moment, perhaps for a while. Allow your attention to begin to shift towards these places that feel a little bit stuck in your space. They're not vibrating as freely. They're not ringing as clearly in your body as you would like for them to. Beginning to assimilate the vibrations that every bowl, every strike, every touch, every reverberation is giving off. Just sit in that space for a moment. Feel these subtle, delicate hugs from the divine. heightened sense of awakenness, clarity. Somebody begins to ring our bell. Perhaps softly at first, just tap, tap. And we're not necessarily listening. And then the message comes through. Soak in these new messages. Allow them to creep in. They're here to serve you. Take another deep breath in. Let it go. Gently begin to reestablish yourself in your space. You may need to shift around, stretch, take a sip of water. Sometimes retuning what you just did, and welcome to everyone who is joining us. Hi, Ricky from Orlando. Hi, Laura from Belfast. Hi, Ashley from the UK, Hampton Court. Sunshine from Maine. We're so glad you're here. You bring a little sunshine wherever you go. I know you've never heard that before. Hi, Peace. Hi from Arizona Desert. Oh, beautiful place. Deeply connected. Hi, Stephanie from NYC. So a lot of times, retuning is something that may not happen as quickly as we want it to. Have you ever noticed in an orchestra, what's the first thing they always do? They tune. And yet in life, how often is it that we don't tune into ourselves? We don't tune in to our authentic nature. We're distracted here and there and what we have to do, and the kids and the cats and the husband and the, or maybe that's just my life, not the kid part, but the cats. So we're always pulled in all these directions. And taking a moment to really kind of sit through and sift through the vibrations that are there as a guide, as a friend, to help us better connect with what's really going on in our space is one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves. So I encourage you throughout your day, sometimes you may just need, sometimes it can be as quick as a 15-second retune, closing of the eyes, coming back in, breathing deeply, exhaling out that which no longer serves, breathing in, whatever it is we need in that moment. Sometimes I find I'll breathe in a color. Sometimes I find I'll breathe in a certain vibration. Sometimes it's a feeling, like more of an emotional kind of feeling. I need to feel a little bit more secure. I need to feel a little bit more safe. And what has that felt like in the past? Our life is a combination of all of these moments gathered into one beautiful symphony. But a symphony is only as beautiful as each present moment. Make sure that you're in tune. It helps so much. That's something I have to tell myself all the time, and I know I'm not alone. So, retuning. A lot of times just opening, too, gives ourselves permissions to flow a little more freely in the space. So tell me in the chat how, if there was anything that you experienced during that retuning, maybe something that was expected, something that maybe wasn't expected, that kind of helped started to create a little bit of a different alignment, a little bit of a different space for you to come together where you are right now, in your fullness, your wholeness. Is there anything that came up for you? If you're comfortable sharing, I'd love to hear. Otherwise, just continue to sit in this beautiful space that the bowls are creating for you. So this next part is allowing for the release, of truly being present with the letting go. There are sometimes things that come in and very much, like I said earlier, kind of bang us, wake us up a little bit. Things that we didn't expect, things we didn't necessarily want to have happen, but here we are, right? Or is that just me? I'm assuming it's not just me. So there are these things that come, right? And they're not necessarily bad, even if they are terrible. They're just a reflection of what's going on inside of us. That's very confronting. And sometimes those confronting moments just continue to build, and they build and they build and they build until there's nothing else that you can really hear or do or see past or through or around. They're just this constant throbbing. And yet sometimes if you break them down, you see them for what they are. A cascade of truth, pulsing, illuminating, creating a little bit of a tension in your body. Which you can then choose to sit with, maybe release, maybe embrace. Ignoring doesn't really help, at least it doesn't for me. Maybe it's because I'm a redhead. Don't ignore anything. And yet when we really focus, these pulsations, the throbbings of life, begin to reveal what they really are, which is an opportunity for freedom. Just a gentle reminder. Let it go. So now I invite you to release. Just sit in this space for a moment. Be an active yet silent witness to the places in your physical body and any other levels of awareness in which you currently cultivate as to where you experienced a release. Just gently call that to mind. You may see a specific location in your body. You may have a specific emotion that feels maybe a little different than it did a few minutes ago. You may have no idea what you're feeling, but you're just feeling a little different vibration. And that feels good. That's perfect. When we follow the path of our purest vibration, our purest truth, we can never go wrong. For it's that which guides us to something greater than who we perceive we are. I'm sure many of you are well read in many of some of the most wonderful spiritual writers who help us approach freedom, perspectives of our life in different ways through the beautiful use of words. Well, just 2 days ago, Amazon delivered the collected works of Khalil Gibran for me. Beautiful hardback edition. But I thought it was really interesting because when I just gently opened the book for the first time, and these pages are pretty stiff, you can hear that. Nice little crackling. That'd be a nice recording effect. The one that came out, it really, and it just immediately opened. Don't you love it when books do this? It struck me, and I just wanted to share it with you because I thought, how apropos. So today we're continuing this theme of here in the United States. Yesterday was our Independence Day. This idea of freedom and letting it truly ring. It's a saying we have here in the United States, let freedom ring. And I think it's applicable for all of us, anywhere in the world. Freedom is, well, there's not much that's more important. And it's something that is already ours on the deepest of levels, if we can recognize it. That's always a trick, right? Love is already us on the deepest levels, if we can recognize it. It's that recognition that can sometimes be tricky. At least it is for me. So I wanted to share this with you. If you'll indulge me. It's called The Saint. In my youth, I once visited a saint in his silent grove beyond the hills. And as we were conversing upon the nature of virtue, a brigand came limping wearily up the ridge. When he reached the grove, he knelt down before the saint and said, "O saint, I would be comforted. My sins are heavy upon me." And the saint replied, "My sins too are heavy upon me." And the brigand said, "But I am a thief and a plunderer." And the saint replied, "I too am a thief and a plunderer." And the brigand said, "But I am a murderer, and the blood of many men cries in my ears." And the saint replied, "I am a murderer, and in my ears cries the blood of many men." And the brigand said, "I have committed countless crimes." And the saint replied, "I too have committed crimes without number." Then the brigand stood up, gazed at the saint, and there was a strange look in his eyes. And when he left us, he went skipping down the hill. And I turned to the saint and said, "Wherefore did you accuse yourself of uncommitted crimes? See you not this man went away no longer believing in you?" And the saint answered, "It is true. He no longer believes in me. But he went away much comforted." At that moment, we heard the brigand singing in the distance, and the echo of his song filled the valley with gladness. There's such powerful vibrations, not only in the words, but in the idea and the concept that's presented here in this poem by Gibran called The Saint. And we could wax philosophic and poetic about it for a long time. Everything from, well, the saint was saying that he is no different than the brigand. They are the same. Everything that the brigand experiences, so does the saint. And everything the saint experiences, so does the brigand. That's definitely one idea. I think on a deep level, there's this idea of recognition, of being seen. And in that being seen of someone, a feeling like someone can look at you and say, I see you. And I love you. And I don't judge you. Doesn't matter what you've done. I see you. It's all good. There's such freedom in that. And yet, how often is that one of the most difficult gifts? Not only to give someone else, but to give ourselves. Which is where it all starts, right? That's why I think freedom, finding ways to release things that no longer serve, release these shackles that bind, marching us towards our own true freedom that's already there. All these shackles are just things that we have somehow managed to put on through different life experiences that are all valid, all painfully beautiful, and all deliciously appreciated, right? Even when we don't want them. So, that poem, freedom, personal sovereignty, sovereignty in our mind, sovereignty in our space, sovereignty in our bodies. This next portion is a time for you to receive. So before we go into this time of receptivity, I'd like to invite you now to close your eyes. Just take another deep breath. Fill your lungs to the greatest capacity, stretching back as you can, holding it almost till you can't hold it anymore, and then release it out. Do that again at your own pace, filling your lungs as deeply as you can, enlivening every cell of your body with that life-giving, precious oxygen. Keep it in, 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 and let it go, let it go. Do it one more time for me, please. Deep inhale. Oh, that's so beautiful. It feels good. It feels really good. Keep letting it feel good. Then gently give it back. Every aspect of breath, every aspect of our life is a mirror of our living and our dying. What would you like to receive in this moment? Allow that vibration to begin to come to your mind. What does it feel like? Is it comforting? Is it cozy? Is it enlivening? Is it empowering? Is it peaceful? Is it tranquil? Is it colorful? However you define it, begin to receive those vibrations through the bowls into your heart, breathing in all the goodness that you seek right now in this moment. Breathe in goodness that you didn't know you'd like to have. Soften the breath. You are safe and you are whole. Take a deep breath in. Gently let it go. Gently sit with these vibrations that are ringing heavily in your space. Floating. Giving your body permission and time to retune, reassemble, bringing together this new information that you wanted to experience, you wanted to enliven, and you wanted to bring in today, in this moment, in this present, beautiful moment. With all of these beautiful souls here with us today. Just keep feeling every part of your body that is reverberating a new truth that has been there forever. There's grace in that. There's safety in that. Because it's already you. It's always been you. You are perfect just as you are. And we see you as such. Now, some of you like to seal practices by creating your own sound, which is a very powerful way to continue experiencing your own vibrations within your body and bringing them up, out, where you can viscerally have an experience. So if you'd like to join me, just chanting, we'll just chant 3 simple ohms. Om, the universal sound. It doesn't matter what language, what religion, what perspective in life that you follow, don't follow, like, couldn't care less for. Om is the sound that buzzes through the universe, through the cosmos, all around us, all the time, whether we hear it or not. Our body hears it. So let's tap into this most primordial sound that's here on planet Earth, and that's a sound of Om. So deep inhale, and as we exhale, we'll chant together. May your path be easy. May your steps always find happiness. And may on this day and every day, freedom light your way, bringing you towards your truth. Thank you so much for sharing this time with me. Thank you so much for giving your energy, your vibrations to the bowls and allowing me to find them and return them to you. That's always so neat. It's fascinating too to see what the bowls give back to us in a lot of different ways. Sometimes they do things that I absolutely expect. Other times they do the darndest things. And it's incredible because it's a two-way conversation, right? I think as a musician, one of the things I very early learned is that you never play at something. You play with. I never played my violin. I played with the violin, with the instrument. It's a very different It's a very different experience when you realize that you're in constant co-creation. Every relationship in the world, whether it's your violin or the Starbucks barista, is an act of co-creation. Obviously, the Starbucks barista is a little more easier to understand. You're like, I got to tell them my order, she's going to fix it, and if it's not hot enough, I get to send it back. And they write my name on a cup and hopefully put a smiley face. But really, that co-creative power is so much deeper, because it's all the little subtle things that you pick up. It's all the little subtle vibrations we pick up. And having this experience with this lovely little barista who's having a crappy day because she can't pay her rent, so she's kind of irritated, and her boyfriend is a dorko, and so she's over here just kind of like, blah, blah, blah. And you can feel all of that. You have the opportunity to help co-create a moment, one part of her symphony in that day. I just think that's so incredible that we have that gift. Now, granted, it's sometimes, a lot of times, easier said than done to make the most of that gift, right? But we always have it. So, Sarah. Hi, Sarah from New Zealand. And you feel energy from your cats. Yes. Does anybody else have pets? Give us a shout out if you have some pets. Sarah, yeah, you're an empath. Oh, Ashley, thank you for your kind words. Absolutely. And Mo, thank you so much. Yeah, we're excited. We're going to have some more coming up. We'll be back this Thursday. Right now we're kind of shifting around, doing some different times. So be sure to reach out. Leave me a message. Come visit us on the teacher's page on the About. There's lots of ways that you can get in contact, and be sure to stay tuned, because we have I'm really excited about some courses and some workshops that we have coming up. So if you're interested in sound healing, in retuning yourself, whether it's you have 5 minutes to do it or 5 hours, not really, I mean, who really would do it for 5 hours? I might, but that's just me, and that's kind of weird. So you wouldn't have to do it for 5 hours, but we have all kinds of fun stuff coming up. Probably not 5-hour courses. So do join us. So yeah, Sarah, you have 2 cats, Willow and Chewy. Oh, you missed the bowls. Well, come back and join us. We'll be back Thursday morning at Eastern time, New York time, at 9 a.m., I think. And then we'll be back Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern time. And then I think we'll be back Sunday evening as well. And then we will continue on in a more scheduled sequence time frame next week. But Sarah, you're so right about cats. Right now we have 4 kitties. We just rescued 2. One adopted us, wandered up outside. And the other one was a senior kitty who was a feral cat living in the neighborhood. And we kind of intercepted from Animal Services. And he's blind and had somehow managed to live as kind of, I use that term loosely, outside, and he was reaching the end of his rope, but he's been with us now for almost a month, and he is thriving and he is loved. And cats know, and I think that's amazing, like, we all know when we're loved and we're wanted and we're seen. So that's so great. I bet you have such amazing stories with Willow and Chewy. Hi, Dave. Yes. So, so these are 13 bowls. It's the 12 notes of the Western scale, so tuned chromatically from low to high, from C to C, high C. So C, C sharp, D flat, D, D sharp, E flat, E, F, all the way up. I had to figure out where I was. So yeah, so there's 13 bowls, and they're tuned to 432 hertz, which, as we were talking about just briefly in the beginning, is at 432, it has a very grounding frequency. So most of the frequencies we're accustomed to hearing is 440. It's typically what we hear on the radio. So by lowering the pitch, the center of the pitch, just enough, it actually begins to create us a grounded sort of peace in the body. Something else that I didn't know earlier about 432 is that 432 is also has a direct intervallic relationship with Schumann's resonance. It's the resonance of the earth. It's about that. It's about a C sharp. The earth, pretty much all the time, plus or minus about 2 hertz frequencies from 7.83. something we can't even hear, but we feel it. We feel that vibration in the earth. So when you go outside and you ground your feet into the earth, you feel that vibration. You're actually feeling a really, really low version of this pitch, C sharp-ish, tuned at a 432. So there's a very strong correlate between 432 hertz and this grounding frequency. It's a really beautiful, beautiful frequency. So yeah, well, how do I say your name? I feel so embarrassed. A Coljet? Forgive me. It's a really, really tiny screen in front of me, and it's all on me. So, hi friend, it's really nice to meet you. I'll look forward to seeing you in the next event. Thank you everyone so much for being here. And hi love, I'm glad you woke up. I'm glad you woke up to this magic. Your day is going to be filled with pure magic. And remember, kindness is magic. So, without any further ado, I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for your donations. That's so kind. Like I said, if you enjoyed the session, these donations we're using actually to work with. He's one of the premier scientists on psychoacoustics and vibrations, and how sound can heal and does heal. One of his latest studies was with red blood cells. So that's pretty darn cool. We're going to be working on some white blood cell healing with specific frequencies in music. It's very mind-blowing, but uber cool. So if you'd like to support that, I appreciate your donations, and you know it's going to a good cause, and I thank you so much for being here. Please follow, share this with your friends. I'd love to connect with more people and help ring their vibrations through to them too. Thank you so much, you all. I hope you have a wonderful day. Your comments mean the world to me. Blessings to you and yours. Satnam.